Hey, welcome back to Bros on the Go. It's Matt here. I just want to say that the following video is intended for parents of special needs children, but whoever you are, I hope you take the time to watch it all the way through because I think it's really important. So thanks for watching the videos. If it's your first time, I hope you will stay around and watch a few more. Without further ado, enjoy.
Some of the things I wish I knew years ago that have changed our lives as our kids have gotten older. One thing I think it is it's okay to ask for help. I know for all of us, for anyone, it's hard to ask for help. But for anyone that has someone with a disability or a special need in their family, I think we are so used to protecting them that it's hard to be vulnerable with them. And I, through not only Johnny and Friends, but through the schools and through churches, have learned that people genuinely love your kids. I think that as we have allowed ourselves to be vulnerable with staff and with family or friends, it has allowed them to understand the day-to-day and to see what our children bring to the world. I think for us it's harder to see because we're in the thick of it. We're in survival mode. Sometimes adding one more person into your circle can be exhausting. When we first attended Johnny and Friends, I'll never forget pulling in and the welcome of, they welcome every family in and they're so excited, and you literally pull in with your vehicle and there is a massive amount of people waiting to help you, and to just allow those people to love on your kids and realize what they are getting out of that week just as much as what you are getting out of that week is mind-blowing. And I wish I would have known that or been willing to accept that years ago. Our children now are 19, 17, and 15. And when we see the people come and talk to us about the impact that our kids have had on their lives in one way or another, it's super humbling and super mind-blowing. After leaving Johnny and Friends the first year, we came home and kind of changed some things up around here. We had staff. Like I said, I have 3 boys, and I'm the primarily one home with them. So we had 2 ladies that worked for us, and it's great. They were able to totally take care of all of their needs. I could leave, trust them with them. It was wonderful. But the only thing that was hard was they were my age, and who wants to be running and jumping on the trampoline and biking and playing basketball and all the things these kids needed that they got at camp that they weren't getting at home. And so I was out for coffee with a friend one day, and she was saying her son was coming home from college for the summer and looking for a summer job. And I just kind of casually said, does he need a job? Does he like kids? Anyway, long story short, he ended up starting to work for us. And every summer after then, to this day, he still comes back with us, and he has been here 4 years. And what that has allowed is for my kids to not only have caregivers, but to have friends. It changed the perspective on who we could hire and what, I have a kid that's home today, who we could hire and what they could do during the day.
When I first started working with Christina and Garrett's 3 boys, Andrew, Caleb, and Owen, I had no idea what to expect. I really didn't know what special needs looked like. I was scared of what special needs could look like, and I just had no idea. But for whatever reason, I was placed at their house my first year after college as a summer job, and I started working with them. And the first summer was strenuous, and it was kind of tough, and it was a lot different than what I was used to. But what I quickly found out was that these 3 boys, it wasn't really work going out to work with them. It was just a friendship that developed through genuine getting to know them and seeing them as actual, real, genuine people. And so as I got to work with them more and more, Christina and Garrett started letting me into their life more and more. And that really made a big difference when they stopped looking at me as just the help that was hired to come in, do my job, clock in and out, and go home. and they actually opened up their lives, which I can't even imagine how hard and difficult of a thing that must have been for them to do. But once they opened up their hearts and their homes and they let me in more and more, and it took time. I've worked with them for 5 summers now. This will be my 5th summer. But over time, as they let me in more and more, I got to see more and more, and I noticed the difference in Andrew, Owen, and Caleb, all 3 of the boys, and how they were able to grow more comfortable with me. And they soon saw me as a friend and not just maybe that hired person that was just their job to come and work with them. I'm really proud of the bond that I built with Andrew, Caleb, and Owen, because it just really is like any other friend that I would go and hang out with all 3 of the boys. And all 3 of the boys have their unique strengths and areas where they like to shine. Owen loves to sing and dance and be active, and Caleb is more thoughtful. And then Andrew is kind of a social butterfly once he gets you on his good side and gets to know you. I would recommend as much as you possibly can to go out and seek out people that are your children's age and gender if possible. I know it's hard and it's not always easy, and even if you are willing to kind of take those steps and search for people who can work with your children who are their age or are their same gender, sometimes they're just not available. But whatever you can do to try to take a risk or take a step of faith, I would highly recommend you do that, because I've seen it change my life personally as a PCA and also change the lives of the 3 boys that I get to hang out with and work with.
I just want to encourage you to just take a moment and look around and see all that God is doing and all that He has orchestrated for you to be in this place at this time, and to allow yourself to relax and just be in His presence, to know your children are taken care of, and to know that everyone there is there because they love Jesus and they want to be used for His goodness. Our oldest, Andrew, in church will clap during worship. He will tell people to stand up when they're not. He will lift his hands. He listens to worship music at home. And I encourage you to let your guard down and allow them to praise God and to see that they have a very special relationship with God. Andrew is 19 years old at a 5 to 6 year old level, but let me tell you, he loves Jesus, and so does Owen. Owen will, it's time to pray, closes his hands, bows his head. They know, and it is mind-blowing the work that God has done in their lives.
First of all, I just would like to say that the church is not for one individual or for 2 or for specific. And we need to today address that and realize that we are there for whosoever will come. And Jesus says that a family with behavioral issues or special needs issues should be welcome. And that kind of begins at the top and has to dwindle down. We have been blessed with a couple of special needs kids that in some situations would be maybe met at the door and told, maybe this isn't working for you, and it needs to work. And so we've seen the experiences in the church that have been really positive and changed their lives. First of all, acceptance. Second of all, realizing that in being accepted, the Spirit of the Lord ministers. And there may be a hand that goes up, there may be a movement, but I just have to, within myself, say, it's okay with me. We can work with this. I've seen a situation where our grandson Andrew went into a Sunday school classroom and came out with the teacher at probably the age of maybe 6 or 7, and that he had accepted Jesus into his heart. What a day that was. And I saw a change immediately in him. So there was the fruit of the Spirit, and with the other boys as well. There is a fruit of the Spirit and a fruit of the atmosphere of the church, that it is welcoming, because that's what Jesus is. And He helps us to grow, and He helps us to see the effects in people's lives. And to the special need individual, they are real and they have feelings, and they can sense. Their antennas are very accurate as to the mood in a room, whether it's welcoming or it is not. We need to follow what Jesus said, to come unto him. It is a pleasure for me as a pastor to have a church where my grandkids are welcome, and others as well.
I want to encourage you to feel comfortable asking questions and answering questions. The most common thing I think I hear when I am down at camp or in any situation is people feel like they cannot ask questions. They don't want to offend you, but yet they don't understand. So allow people to ask you questions. Allow them to get to know you and your child, and allow them to love on you. And when you leave, bring that home and allow people to love on you there too. Church can be a hard one for us because you go and it's a vulnerable thing. A lot of times your kids might make noises or need special accommodations, or can they even get into the church? Does the wheelchair get in? Can you change a diaper in the bathroom? How will people act if your child acts up? Will you be asked to leave? We've all probably been asked to leave a church at one time or another because they don't understand. But there are also churches out there that want to understand and they want to help you. But if we don't take our children to church, we don't even give them the opportunity to do that. We don't give them the opportunity to start a program, or we can't even be involved in a program ourselves. So I really want to encourage you to take what you do at camp this week and bring it home and show people and teach them and show them your excitement, and to ask the questions that need to be asked, and to not be afraid to do something because you're afraid of what's going to happen. It has been life-changing for us in our household having young men. And if you have young girls, hire young girls. If you are a wife of a husband who's a paraplegic and you don't want a 40-year-old woman at your house while you're gone, well then hire a 16 to a 21 or 22-year-old guy. He can sit and just have fun and watch them and give you some freedom. I want you to think outside the box of who can help you, because sometimes you need to go outside of your family and you need to go outside of your friends and allow that to happen. It's not going to be easy right away. You're going to have to get to know each other. You're going to have to get a rhythm just like anyone else. But I will tell you, when you hire these young guys or these young ladies, you can have them with you longer because they haven't started their career. They haven't gotten married. They haven't gotten any of this. Well, now we have someone that's been with us for so long that in the last year has gotten married and is starting a family, but is still here because he's become family to us. He loves the boys. They all love the boys. It's a blessing. I can see them with us lifelong, and the boys feel comfortable and safe with them, and I feel comfortable and safe when they are with them. And it also has allowed my husband to be able to go out and do things with the boys and bring these young guys with as help and feel like he has got a normal, per se, relationship with his children, because he's been allowed to step back from all the caregiving or all the babysitting and just have help and enjoy things with his kids that he would never have been able to enjoy. Whether it be a basketball game, golf, a trip to the mall or the grocery store, it just allows some normalcy. And it allows for him to go out with someone of his own sex and just enjoy.
I guess we've brought in the younger staff members and you know, which is more buddies for the kids versus having older people, more mom and dad's age, or women or whatever. Now they have buddies that they can, you know, be around and enjoy. How has camp impacted my life? I think it's opened our eyes to how, as special needs parents, you probably shelter your kids, and when you go there, you get these people that want to love on you, and you just eventually open up and allow your kids just to be kids and run and play, if you will, with you know, their peers. You just kind of let your guard down instead of sheltering them or filtering, you know, them or other people from them. I would probably say just don't necessarily be sheltered and protect them. Obviously you're going to do that, but you know, we've had great luck and get lots of praise from people just because we take them out and we treat them just like everybody else. You know, they do have special circumstances if there's bathrooming issues or you know, behavioral, which we've been pretty fortunate with. There are some meltdowns, but you know, just get them out in public and they're friendly, and not everybody is friendly back, but just enjoy them and do stuff, you know, that you probably would with normal kids. You know, we were at Pizza Ranch a couple weeks ago, and Andrew was talking about Easter, and the girl didn't understand that was running in Easter, and I had to repeat what he was saying, and she's like, oh yeah, happy Easter. And he was talking about his Uncle David and asking her if he was excited to see Uncle David, and I had to repeat it, and she's like, oh no, I don't have an Uncle David, I have a Papa David or something like that. But it was just, you know, a short interaction, but you know, Andrew has, and all the boys have a pretty good impact on everybody they meet.
Be open to new ideas. See the joy in your children. Allow yourself to take care of yourself and to just sit sometimes and relax. I think for so many of us, the length of time that we are going to be a parent is a lot longer than the length of a time that average parents are parents. We're looking for the next 60 to 80 years. Some people at 18, their kids go to college, they go away, they get married. We are making decisions for people for the rest of their lives. And you have to allow yourself to step back and just be mom or just be dad sometimes, and just enjoy your kids as other people are caring for them. You are then enjoying them. The first year at camp, somebody spoke and said, you need to allow yourself to grieve. And it is healthy to grieve. And I have taken that back to every aspect of my life, and I continually do it. It's okay to be angry at God that your children have special needs, or that life isn't fair, or money is tight because of everything. And it's going to be like that for everyone. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to grieve that your children, for us, the new one maybe is that they might not drive. All your friends' kids are driving. It's okay. Grieve. Be mad, but then get over it and move on. And it's healthy. Or maybe you won't have grandkids, or you're not going to have the empty nest, or all your friends are out running around and don't need a babysitter, but you know what, you do. And like I said, your kids are 15, 17, and 19. I think we live with the identity of that. We need to let go of that and just allow us to feel normal. But grieving is healthy. And when you grieve, you can then move on and find the joy in things. That to this day has been the healthiest advice that I have ever had. So with that, I hope you have a great week. I hope that you all can just soak it up and enjoy it. But no, it's only for a few days. And when it's done, you have to go home. And in that, don't be afraid to implement what you've learned. Have a great week. Thanks.